U.S. finds global network of pedophiles. A photograph was the thread to unravel the execrable child pornography. From it, the police began to make an arrest after another of men accused of pedophilia, assault, exchange explicit photos and even chat online about kidnapping, cooking and eating children. Boston. U.S. authorities have identified at least 140 victims of a monstrous gang of child pornography in 7 countries on 2 continents, including Mexico, and warned there may be many more, considering the hundreds of thousands of images found in the computers of suspects. In total, 43 people, all men, have been arrested in the past 2 years. The network had members working in different fields: a puppeteer child in Florida, a hotel manager in Massachusetts, an emergency medical technician in Kansas and a nursery assistant in the Netherlands. The execrable child pornography began to be unraveled like a sweater that melts with a single loose thread. In this case, the tip of the iceberg was a stuffed bunny. The bunny, seen in the photograph of an anguished and half-naked baby and a half-year-old, was carefully tracked to track and find a sex maniac in Amsterdam. Thereafter, the police began to make an arrest after another of men accused of pedophilia, assault, exchange explicit photos and even chat online about kidnapping, cooking and eating children. Police, who has identified over 140 victims, is also investigating whether the men who spoke of murder and cannibalism actually incurred in such offenses or exchanged only perverse fantasies. The research, which continues to expand, given the code name Halitna, by a river in Alaska which has many tributaries. "They are the worst of the worst," he said. Bruce Falkart, agent, manager, in Boston, the research unit of Service Homeland Security Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE, for its acronym in English. "This is nothing more than a child who is naked and have someone take a picture. It is a child being raped by an adult, which is horrible." The case began to unravel when Robert DeDuca, manager of a Sheraton hotel in the U.S. city of Milford, in the state of Massachusetts, sent a photograph of a Dutch boy to an undercover federal agent in Boston. DeDuca, married with 2 children, he used the nickname Babbitt and sent the photo. Thought he was another man who wanted sex with babies and young infants. The officers broadcast the photo to the international police Interpol and several countries. A Danish police recognized the rabbit as Miffy, a character in a children's book series in the Netherlands. It also tracked the orange sweater child to a little shop in Amsterdam that had sold only 20 other similar. The image was broadcast on television and within minutes several friends and relatives contacted the child's mother. Robert Mickelson's, child care worker for 27 years and who was hired to care for the child, was arrested. And his computer had thousands and thousands of children who were victims of abuse and rape, including the baby who had the stuffed bunny. The photographs, along with online chat sites, were found in computers, and Mickelson's DeDuca allowed to find 36 other suspects in 7 countries, including Mexico, Canada, Britain and Germany and Sweden. The oldest victim in the Netherlands was 4 and the youngest only 19 days. The federal prosecutor in Massachusetts, Carmen Ortiz, who led the case against DeDuca, said the demand for pictures with sexual assaults on young infants, including infants and toddlers, has grown dramatically in recent years. This demand leads to child abuse, although there is a misconception that, in a way, viewing child pornography is a victimless crime, he said. Of course it is not. DeDuca pleaded guilty to child pornography and sexual exploitation charges, for which he was sentenced to 18 years in prison. His lawyer, Richard Sweeney, said a leader of Boy Scout DeDuca sexually abused as a child. "I understand, you need to be punished, he knows what he did was wrong," said Sweeney. Mickelson's, after admitting that he sexually abused more than 80 children, was also sentenced to 18 years in prison after an inpatient psychiatric meeting indefinitely. For agents that carry the case, the tracks of the network are endless. Last week arrested another Massachusetts man after finding child pornography on his computer and photographs of what looked like dead children. Apparently he had online conversations with Michael Arnett, of the city of Roland Park, Kansas and Ronald Brown, a children's puppet Largo, Florida. Arnett was arrested in May. Brown was one of the 4 men arrested in July, who said they had conversations with Arnett on kidnap and eat children. A YouTube video shows Brown in a Catholic children's television program of 80. In the video, tells a puppet dressed as a child she did right by refusing to see the dirty pictures that other kids wanted to introduce. Some of the researchers met at the Arnett computer with something that had never found, online chat long, descriptive of his desire to kidnap, kill and eat babies. In their talks, said they had also taken pictures of a naked boy 2 years in a tray in an oven. The child and 2 others who allegedly were victims of Arnett then appeared alive,